What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Giganato Gaming here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2. We are back in the Sanctuary Season 8, and this will probably be the second to last episode. We are going to fill this up one last time with 20 different species, 5 in each section, and we're gonna see who survives and who goes extinct. This will be the second to last episode where we prepare. And then when we do this one more time, it'll be the final episode of Season 8. So before we get into this, if you find yourself enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Let's see if we could get this channel to 1,500 subscribers. That would be super amazing. But with that, let's begin. Starting with the north end. Alright. First creature to enter the north part of the sanctuary is Draco Rex. Okay. Alright, creature number 2 is Dimetrodon. Alright, so Draco Rex and Dimetrodon so far. What's creature number 3 gonna be? Changosaurus. It just landed on that. Alright, creature number 4. What will it be? Ooh, Indoraptor. Okay, and then creature number 5. Wuerosaurus. So the creatures we have for this one are Draco Rex, Dimetrodon, Changosaurus, Indoraptor, and Wuerosaurus. So let's start with Draco Rex. They're probably going to be picked off relatively quickly, whether it's by the Indoraptor or whatever else. They will fight back with the Dromaeosaurs, but that's about it. Alright, Draco Rex, there we go. So there will probably be 8 of them. I will do the totals once we get through round 3, the final round. So I was looking at the results for like round 2. We had 183. We started with 86. We added another 90 something. So we had like 186. And then when we ended the experiment, the population was brought back down to 86. Which is awesome, in my opinion. There we go. Let's add in all 8 Draco Rexes, all 6 Dimetrodons, all 6 Wuerosaurs, all 4 Changosaurs, and then the 1 Indoraptor. Alright, I think we're ready. Let's get started. Let's release the Draco Rexes first. We got 2 Draco Rexes floating up on top of the ground. Levitating. So now we have all Pachycephalosaurs in here. Every single Pachycephalosaur species. Alright, let's move on to Wuerosaurus. Welcome to the north end. Alright, so that's Draco Rex done. Or, sorry, Wuerosaurus done. No, I want to click on that. There we go. Alright, let's release Dimetrodon next. Let's at least give them 1 feeder. We'll put a feeder over here just in case. Alright, Dimetrodons, I'm going to need you to get out of the way so we can release the Changosaurs. Let's release them. I'm not even going to worry about naming alphas. I'll just name them as time goes on. And finally, the Indoraptor. The main threat of the north end. Just like how the Scorpius Rex is the main threat of the east end. Alright, we got that done. Let's move on to the south end. Alright, the south end, let's go. Our first creature of the south end is Sauropelta, alright. The second creature of the south end is Stegoceratops, alright. And the third creature to make it into the south end is Deinonychus, okay. Alright. The fourth creature to make it into the south end is, who had just landed on Dreadnoughtus. And finally, the final creature of the south end is, all herbivores basically, Mamenchisaurus. Alright. So for the south end, we have Sauropelta, Stegoceratops, Deinonychus, Dreadnoughtus, and Mamenchisaurus. So let's get to work on that. Let's start with Sauropelta. So I'm thinking, since they go by the ones, for Mamenchisaurus and Dreadnoughtus, we'll have 2 of each. 2 of each. I think that'll be better suited. Let's release the Sauropeltas first. And then that'll leave space for another Dreadnoughtus or Mamenchisaurus. They can expand their territory, see if they can find any food for themselves. Alright, so that's Sauropelta done. Let's move on to the Stegoceratops. Alright, that's Stegoceratops done. Wait for the Sauropelta to leave. And then we can release the Deinonychus next. Alright, so that's Deinonychus released. Let's get another Mamenchisaurus going and another Dreadnoughtus.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I wasn't talking to you. Sorry about that. My voice assistant thought I was talking to her. Alright. Let's release that. And we have a Dominion Dreadnoughtus, which is awesome. Alright, let's start work. Let's get the Mamenchisaurus out first. Another sauropod. Alright. That's the first Mamenchisaurus. Let's release the first Dreadnoughtus. And then I'll release them, the other 2 off camera. Alright, we're probably going to need some, we got some tall leaf. We're going to need tall leaf. Alright, yeah, basically tall leaf. That's all they need. I don't want to interfere with other people's food. They can expand their territory if they want. There we go. They should be completely content. I'm going to release the other 2. And then while the other 2 release, let's move on to the east side. Alright, the first creature to enter the east side is, hopefully something that can take on Scorpius. Megalosaurus, okay, that could be a possibility. Alright, the next one is Metaburosaurus. And then after that, what will it be? Metracanthosaurus, okay. And then after that, Polacanthus, it looks like. And the final creature of the east end is... It just landed on Iguanodon. Alright, so we've got Megalosaurus, Metaburosaurus, Metracanthosaurus, Polacanthus, and Iguanodon. Alright, so let's start with Megalosaurus. Throw that in first. I remember back in the first game when Muttaburrasaurus needed 6 members in order to be happy. They were very fussy hadrosaurs. Or iguanodonts, whatever they are. I know someone will yell at me like, oh, they're not hadrosaurs, they are iguanodonts. I'm like, dude, whatever, I'm just trying to have fun here. Let's release the Muttaburrasaurus first. And then I'm thinking, whatever we have left, we can put in another sanctuary. The leftovers. Alright. So that's Muttaburrasaurus released. What do you guys pretty much need? Ground fiber. Oh, there is plenty of it to go around. You just gotta look for it. Alright, let's move on to the Polacanthuses next. Alright, so that's Polacanthus released. Let's move on to the Iguanodons. Alright, that's Iguanodon done. Let's release the Metracanthosaurs next. Alright. And last but not least, the Megalosaurs. Alright, so that's the east side done. And look, everything, a lot of creatures... Well, Mudskipper actually made his way over here. He's making his way over towards the west side, which could be interesting. Yeah, we got a lot of creatures filling up here. We got a Gigantoraptor who made its way over here. Let's get some ground leaf going. We got Scott who made his way over here. Okay. Alright. Let's move on to the west side, finally. Alright, let's move on to the final 5 creatures that would be going into the west side. Our first one is Velociraptor. Okay, cool. And the second one, what will it be? Okay, it looks like Suchomimus is up next. Alright, and creature number 3, Sinoceratops. Alright, creature number 4 is Compsognathus. Alright. And creature number 5, what will it be? Maiasaura. Alright, so for the 5 creatures of the west, we have Velociraptor, Suchomimus, Sinoceratops, Compi, and the Maiasaura. Alright, so let's start with Velociraptor. Alright, so not really much is going on the west side. We have a Pyroraptor. Hamster, who was in the north side, wandered all the way down here. Which is awesome. Alright, let's start. Let's start with the Maiasauras. Alright, that's Maiasaura done. Let's move on to Sinoceratops. Alright, that's Sinoceratops added in. Let's wait for them to get out of the way so then we can release the next one, which are the compies. Alright, that's the compies released. We should have a feeder. Yep, we do for the compies. Let's move on to the raptors. Let's see if we could spot any movie skins. Right off the bat, I'm seeing a Lost World Velociraptor. Maybe a Charlie. 2 Charlies, I believe. And 2 Lost World Velociraptors. Alright, so let me just see what we got. Alright, so... yeah, we got, yep, 1997. Original one. We got a Delta. Okay. 2 Tiger Stripe Raptors, a Charlie, and a Delta. So that's what we've got. Alright, that's Velociraptor done. And let's release the Suchomimus. So I'm assuming the Velociraptors are going to be an absolute menace around here. They're probably going to kill every single creature here, I would imagine. They might even go after some of the unlucky ones. Alright, so next episode will be the final episode, and we'll bring this into action. But until then, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.